wise and just in all matters.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
His position on the Jedi Council allows him to put his wisdom to the best use.
What is it?
Pain, suffering, death, I feel. Something terrible has happened. Young Skywalker is in pain, terrible pain.
Despite his age, he can still pull out the fighting moves, and he played a crucial role in the first battle of the Clone Wars on the planet Geonosis against Count Dooku.
Much to learn, you still have.
It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but by our skills with a lightsaber.
When the Republic becomes the Empire, which we'll see in Episode 3, Yoda flees into exile on the swamp planet Dagobah, where he will wait patiently for the Force to bring him a new hope.
I feel like...
Be like what?
like we're being watched.
Oh, wait, put your weapon. I mean you no harm. I am wondering, why are you here?
I'm looking for someone.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
Well, my little friend, got something jammed in here real good. Were you on a Star Cruiser?
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
What's this?
What is what? He asked you a question. What is that?
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Oh, he says it's nothing, sir. Merely a malfunction.
Only 2 characters appear in all 6 of the Star Wars films, and C-3PO is the only one we can understand. He's the anxious but faithful protocol droid who accompanies the Skywalkers on their epic adventures, often wandering into trouble and always concerned.
He's not finished yet.
He's wonderful.
He's a protocol droid to help Mom. Watch.
Where is everybody?
Oops. Yeah.
Hello. I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations. How might I serve you?
He's perfect.
Oh, perfect.
3PO was built by the young Anakin Skywalker on Tatooine and follows him through the first 3 films, then becomes Luke's companion for the next 3. So, when 3PO and Obi-Wan Kenobi meet in Episode 4, why doesn't the droid recognize him? Episode 3 will explain everything.
I'm not sure this floor is entirely stable. Oh, hello. I don't believe we have been introduced. R2-D2, a pleasure to meet you. I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations. I beg your pardon, but what do you mean, naked? My parts are showing. My goodness. Oh.
The half-pint droid brimming with personality, R2-D2 plays a vital role in the Star Wars story. Princess Leia trusts him with the stolen plans for the Death Star. He leads Luke Skywalker to his first meeting with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He navigates Luke's X-Wing in the attack on the Death Star. And that's just in the first movie.
This R2 unit of yours seems a bit beat up. You want a new one? Not on your life. That little droid and I have been through a lot together. You okay, R2? Good.
And who can forget his classic catchphrase?
Thank you, R2-D2. Padme. Clean this droid up as best you can. It deserves our gratitude.
So there you have it, heroes doing battle against the evil Empire and the sinister Sith. Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, Emperor Palpatine. But that's another story. But now, to give you a glimpse of all the things I couldn't tell you about, the thrills and surprises in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, here's a taste of the film.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic, before the Dark Times, before the Empire. A young Jedi named Darth Vader, who was a pupil of mine until he turned to evil, helped the Empire hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights. Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
Lord Vader.
Yes, Master.
Rise.
This weapon is your life.
Each culture has to have its own kind of weapon, which reflects the ideology of that particular culture and what they think about and the way they do things. And so you end up with a very large variety of different kinds of weapons that exist in this fantasy world. Drama is conflict. Conflict means violence of one kind or another, something that we live with and something that we should be familiar with since it's part of our daily life.
This will be a hand pistol. So there's the size of a hand pistol, so as you can see, they've got rather large hands.
And the next step would be to make a 3D mock-up of that and then progress from there to the final prop.
Because Star Wars is such a... nobody's supposed to know about what we're up to. Basically, we literally have to make everything in-house. You know, there's a lot of us that want to get it right.
This one, it was sculpted by one of the sculptors downstairs. That's the organic look to it. One of these was made, again approved by George Lucas, and then we've produced 6 or 7 of them.
We started off with that to get a size. So there's your handle being started to work on.
The gun has always signified modern society and modern weaponry and sort of the more impersonal kinds of fighting, which is personified by the droids and the clones, ultimately.
So that's what you end up with. You unscrew that, take it out, and there you have it, a gun.
So here is a very, very light one made of just light resin that they can fling around. It's not particularly strong.
This is a foam one. I'll show you that.
No, don't.
Yeah, like that, it just snaps. You didn't make that very well, did you?
Here's a heavier, tougher version made of resin. And I think somewhere around here there's a rubbery version for stunts. So when they're flying through the air or whatever they're doing, they'll carry a rubber version of the guns, so just so they don't hurt themselves.
General Grievous's droid gun. Right. I mean, there's another possibility of a droid clone pistol. It's like an exhibition. You know, we lay everything out that we've made. I mean, I've got a runner downstairs and made a beautiful gun, and that's one of the guns that were chosen by George, you know.
I like that. Very nice.
Wookiee handgun. It's just literally one-handed. We've got the bigger version for...
Oh, that's right. I'm not a Wookiee.
He's so big. I'm in awe of him as a director. I think he's fantastic, you know, because he's just a great guy, you know, and he appreciates the work you do.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Looks great.
The boys get a chance to actually be more creative, which is great. It's boys and their toys, you know, what can I say? And what's your name?
Brad.
That's Brad.
Now here, it's kind of about the pole having an energy beam in the middle of it that could block lightsabers.
Well, yeah, I'll show you how that works.
Okay.
You had to think up something that you could fight with a laser sword that we haven't done before, but it wasn't a laser sword. And so I came up with these staffs that are electric staffs that laser sword can't cut through. There's a ball on the end here, and then the beam goes along here between it. If you got a laser sword that'll cut through anything and do anything, then you're sort of stuck. It's like Superman. Superman without kryptonite wouldn't work.
General Grievous bodyguard staff, which electrifies in the film, and basically this is the only weapon that can't be destroyed by a lightsaber.
The lightsaber has always been there to signify a more romantic time when there was more honor and more virtue in hand-to-hand combat.
If Obi-Wan were to go up for stills, he may take this one, and it would be a close approximation of the hero that he wears on his belt. Whereas when he's fighting, this is Ewan's favourite lightsaber. He's very particular. This is the one he's used pretty much through the whole show. There's everything I need to supply them with all their fighting needs, basically.
So there's your lightsaber inside. Wow. So you pour your resin in, wait for it to dry, and you pull it out, and it's done. And you'll end up with something like that.
After that, it either gets painted or plated. It's fantastic what we've been able to achieve on this film in the type of products that we can now chrome plate, which we couldn't even do on Attack of the Clones. So now we can actually chrome plate rubber. So this is actually a stunt saber, and it's a rubberized chrome version. So, yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
So this is the one that Alec Guinness had, basically?
Yes.
So this is basically Luke's.
Yes.
Anakin Luke. Mm-hmm. And this is Darth Vader.
That's Darth Vader's.
Okay. So all I have to do is get rid of this one somehow.
Yeah.
Your father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight. Not as clumsy or random as a blaster. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
The greatest thing about the story of Episode 3 is it fills in that void that we've all missed about what was going to happen. I mean, this is what makes the whole 6 films come together.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber.
Thank you very much. You guys get all the toys. Well, we almost lost you. We had a hard time getting the image, but we got it. We got you.
Oh, hold on. We just heard Rick coming up the stairs.
How'd you lose him?
Dunno.
He's stuck in the traffic.
He's stuck in traffic.
There's the Rickmeister.
How are you? So, shall we jump straight in?
Let's,
Yep.
yeah.
Padme's veranda, with which is sort of outside inside. We were just wondering how exposed that is in terms of any aging or weathering or anything.
The further you go back into it, the less distressed it is.
Okay, fine. We have our sort of the two prongs of the art department, really. We have the Australian art department, which is the sort of, in a sense, the filmmaking side of the art department, and then we have the sort of conceptual side of the art department based at the ranch.
Oh, I'm starting to do some set elevations and laying it out a little more clearly for art directors who will be down in Australia building this set.
And we have a pretty ongoing relationship all the time. Obviously, the work's coming from George at the ranch directly through to us by video conferencing maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
No.
So, yeah, I think the draperies are getting in the way. I mean, it's interesting, and maybe we can do it. I don't know. Yeah, they're already building sets. God, help me. I'm gonna have to start this script pretty soon.
This is the prop making department, and it's just been set up. To bear in mind, it's probably about a week old, really.
I like this one, and I like this one.
Over here we've got young Rowan. He's actually in the middle of making another bale gun, the Garner gun, which is all-terrain crew.
Everybody's taking the leap and focusing themselves on what little information we get each week, which happens to be enough for us right now. I mean, we're starting set construction weeks ago. Costumes have been pumping up. Creature shop is just being set up, and they'll start working on some of the creatures in the next 2 weeks. So everything is moving. We're heading for a destination that we're not sure where we're going to end up, but it's a good and exciting time right now.
I think it's great.
It's going to be a real challenge to do this fight in there, but hey, Nick has to have something to do.
Boom. Yeah. Just so it goes across him a little bit. George usually gives me sort of free rein with the fights. I mean, he oversees everything, but we have come up with some ideas. George hasn't seen them yet, so what we usually do is try and test shoot everything, cut it roughly together and send it out to the ranch, and then hopefully get the okay from George, and then we're good to go.
We just have to be careful of that wire work, because it looks like, I don't want it to look like wire work.
What have we done to this?
Hello. There you go. A first draft. Official.